Jaja people, Jaja. You know, early settings. People, see that thing in our background? Yeah, the one and only Dan Rhythm. Yeah, one of the most famous call up on YouTube. Dan himself. People are him producer Rhythm. Yeah. You see? You don't know. Unusual time. You don't know, but I tell you, people, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the channel. Bless up to everybody. Yeah, passing through. You don't know. I know for some reason, but last night we done the ball pre TV live, and we on the thugs them. They in the backstage attack for about 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours. We literally finished talk like probably that's 30 minutes ago. You understand? Big up to Issa Allen, big up to Dan, big up to Ball Pre. Yeah, with the run at the backstage, I will have chat after we finished the live last night. Not last night, but early this morning, upon King Channel. So we just decide say, we just do live in and there same way, the morning insider and just know say we just do a little quick live before we touch out, because you don't know the 95 start really, early from now. You understand? But bless up to the people, them people say, yo, you're still there. Yo, I tell you a joke. Me and King, Dan, Issa, they in the backstage attack for about one good 3 hours after the show done, 6 hours after, not 6, but 3 hours. 3 to 4 hours would they be in the backstage attack and all that reason. And there, so from me sit down at another ball pre TV, but in the after 11:30, when they get up. Probably, yeah, them get up, go use the bathroom and grab a little snack and they are even look Red Bull. But you don't know what happened yesterday though. What happened yesterday in the space over there in Turkey, DJ and Andre Gray, so I got promoted. They won. Yeah, I think they came from behind to win that game 3-1. I think it went to extra time. So Daniel Johnson will be playing the Turkish Super League next season, while Rana Sifas team will be playing in the third tier of Turkish football. You understand? But Jaja, hold on, people. Yeah, but tomorrow at the big game, tomorrow the Unity Cup, the Unity Cup final, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Seeing young Mothersille finally get that looking that him deserve. You understand? Great addition. Great addition. And then I love to applaud, the ones them that getting such a prolific youngster in the national setup in the pool. You understand? And 21 years old, we normally see a lot of them players that come through the door, for the national team, barely see players come through at the age of 21, and for him to make up his mind and say, yo, at the black, green, and gold, I'm gonna deal with. You understand? So glad to see young Mothersille, forward and play for the 876. But one thing though, with everything that him have, in potential, him skill set, everything, one thing I kinda like with him come with a package. Him come with character, him come with a personality. Him play with a lot of heart and have a personality upon the pitch. We don't have a lot of young players in our national setup where play with art, play with personality, play with a little bit of leadership. You understand? Dominate him here. I want to do good and someone that have a high for goal, and I don't really want like to hear the stigma around like we are going for League One baller, but in that day he was once with a Premier League team and he dropped down to the lower tier just to get some game. Yeah, man, just to get some game time that him can progress in career. And you never know. A couple of years from now, he can be playing in the Premier League. So I think this is just a gem. Yeah, I think Mothersille is just a gem, man. Um, I like him. I like him since the rave have been happening about this player to represent the national team. And I start to follow him. I realized this boy got talent, and I think I said this already, and I shared it already that Mothersille said that, you know, in around 5 years from now, he should be in a contention of Ballon d'Or talking of. When you talk about a player that should win the Ballon d'Or in upcoming years to come, he said he's going to be amongst those players in the next 5 years from now. So him have a plan for him career in him ambitious, someone that want to get to the top. Yeah. And if you look at how he performed for Peterborough, I first watched him when they played I think it was Everton. Yeah. Remember when the Ashley Young thing with his son. Forgot what when his son name, but if he could manage to get on the pitch at the same time with his son, but didn't really matter. Tyler Young. So that's the time I really saw Mothersille and I start to follow him, and I'm like, yeah, this is a player kind of makes sense, to be honest. Mothersille, this is a player that really makes sense. And for that age, it's really good. Like it's really, really good. So me have to applaud, for everybody that get that one over the line, so him can join up with the team. And I'm looking forward to see him as well tomorrow. You understand? I'm looking forward to see him tomorrow, possibility of him making his debut. That would have be such, a great scene for him. We seen, young Burrell made his debut. He scored on his debut, another attacking player. So I mean, you would have loved to get a lot of these pieces. Probably you would ask me probably from last year in the Nations League, but nevertheless, you don't know the players. I mean, at them season, some players have to do them have to do. You understand? And the process, it takes time, and for him get it everything, and he's going to be on display tomorrow for the game. It's going to be a crazy one. You understand? So I just like the way he just played his game with a swagger. Bless up to everybody in the joining stream, as I'm saying. You understand? From night, me sit down here, so they on ball pre and the show done, and we're there. So what I reason behind the backstage, and you don't know, again, big up to Isalin probably last no, you understand? Big up to Dan himself, big up to Ball Pre TV. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see him tomorrow, to be honest. I'm really, really want to see him get some minutes. I want to see a little bit of rotation early in that second half. I want to see the first half with the same players. Maybe the only changes that probably would have go into tomorrow game, probably the goalkeeper. Yeah, probably the goalkeeper, the only thing probably would have get changed. But I want to see a continuity of if it can happen again. What we saw in that game, I would like to let me know, what you guys think. You guys want to see, continuity of the same players that start in the Trinidad game give us, that same energy, the same way they start the game, get it out there, like, on Nigeria, because it's going to be a tough game. Forget about it. It's going to be a very damn tough game against the Nigerian team. And look at how they played. They played very quick, especially in that midfield. So you want to know where the level is at, with the Casey Palmer, the Jonathan Russell off playing a team where they backed off and then going to a tougher, game against, a more vibrant opponent that, will give us a different type of challenge. You'd like to know how those players, yeah, will apply themselves in that game, and you will know if they are ready for the Gold Cup that coming up. And I want the team, to win. Yeah, I want the team to win. I want the team to win, to be honest. But winning mentality is very important going into any tournament, and this is like a preseason, because I said it. The Central American teams been performing. I'm not saying been performing, but been training for the last couple of weeks. Let me say that the Central American teams, they've been putting together a lot of their core players through the piece, playing a couple friendly. Last night I was watching British Virgin Island and St. Vincent game, you know, a friendly game as well. So some international teams who have the luxury of getting, 3/4 of their players at this time for the national team to come and train, to come and, go to the PS, a month before the FIFA window begin. That's something that you can build on. You understand? So it's good to see that we have this Unity Cup, and it's going to do great things for Steve McLaren. Like the likes of, Borrell, the likes of, Mothersille, the likes of Jonathan Russell coming back, in the mix. You understand? Quite a few players that's coming back. At least them wet them feet, in the river already. Them play that game already. Then they're going to play another game, and then after they going into a competitive atmosphere where you don't know players have to start flying a tackle. They have to put them body on the line, because that is the main objective, getting to the World Cup. So I'm glad the squad, the manager, everybody, the coaching staff, the administration get the little opportunity to do what they need to do. And it's, I think, watch the last game and look at some of the games that we played in the US. I think I went to the last couple of friendlies that we played here in the US. I think Guatemala was one of them. I remember probably, I don't know if it's if the post era of COVID or just before COVID. We play Ecuador at the same arena, in the Red Bull Arena. We play Ecuador. We play Guatemala in that stadium. We play Argentina in that stadium as well. But you see the atmosphere that generate that we played in the US compared to see the atmosphere that generate in the UK. I would say, look, whoa, it seems like, the UK is more of a home. And if we can get the opportunity to get friendlies, and play some of those friendlies in the UK, that can actually bridge a gap between the heritage players that I look over the fence, still hoping that they still can represent the Three Lions sometime in the future. You understand? So that local party, they can be in England, in London, wherever it is, and they can look at that and like, whoa, I like that atmosphere. I like what I'm seeing. So, and then you have the opportunity again to let the team train, very good facility, high performance stadium, Premier League pitches, is it a championship pitches, so I think it's a good look to see, whenever the national team play in the UK. It's always a good look. But for Lord Ravel, you know, I don't know, but I just like to see stuff have a little bit of continuity where the manager can have trust in the players and give them that head start again, that look, go out there, replicate what you did in that first game. And I would I would just leave the starting 11 as how it is. As I said earlier, only the goalkeeper would I probably substitute and bring in, is either you're going to bring in Benji or you're going to bring in, Chamber. You understand? And Ravel probably can come on a little bit more earlier, probably like 5-10 minutes earlier into the second half than he came on. So that's the only thing, and make a little bit more substitution. I think we made like three substitutions in the last couple of games. Yeah, three substitutions the last couple of games each of the games that we played. So more probably have to utilize the substitutions a little bit more, give players some more opportunities. Test Brandon Koval, throw him out there, let us see what he can bring to the table, let us see what he can do. But it's a hard job for him as well, to just put him out there in the last 10-15 minutes and said, hey, go out there. He's going to want a lot of pressure that he want to perform and he don't want to make any mistake. You understand? Really don't want to make any mistake. But I feel Cephas for leave and him want for leave just because him a carry the team and they praise him highly. Yeah, they praise him highly. You understand? They praise him really highly. I don't think Cephas should be playing third tier coming September. It's a good look, say the young youths them are come through now. That's something that I've been saying, like we need the young youth them. Mothersille are probably the best passer in the team. The thing is, he's such a complete fella that he can play as a cam, he can play as a left winger, he can play as a right winger, and he can do a job in the number 9 position. That's what I like about him. Otherwise from Ravel, him got big in the future, glad him come early. Yeah, that real ball, bless up yourself, good morning. As I don't know, it's not something that going to repeat, a live stream early, so early in the morning. Big up to the people whoever commute to work, which I will be doing soon, just because I really get caught up, talking about some very important stuff, with my YouTube brothers. Why I just say, hey, I got no time to pre-record and then edit. So I decided that just pop in on live and do something. But yeah, even couple days ago, Damian Lowe team got the, saved by the skin of them teeth. Demari Gray beat the team that needed to drop points. So Damian Lowe team, if they go on to win, which they did, saved by the bell. So Damian Lowe will be playing, Saudi Pro League again coming next season. And I just want to say this again, Norman Campbell, I think a Copenhagen, won the cup tournament in the Danish league as well. So that says that the team that lost the cup final will play Norman Campbell team in a playoff to go to the qualification round in the conference league. So Norman Campbell season still in the process, still in the process of trying to help his team get into into Europe, and that is really good because the last time his team played in Europe, which he's just trying to put the team, but the last time that team played in Europe, it was in the qualification round back in 2021-22 season. The last time they were in the Europa League or any European competition, it was back in 2009 and 10 season. So look, if I could pull up the image that they were celebrating on the street, you think it was a trophy parade season. So it's good to see Norman Weedy Campbell actually getting that opportunity to get his team into Europe, and that will be a lot better. That will be too good to see that a regular boy player will be competing in Europe next season. Hopefully they can go to the PS and make it to the group stage. The conference league is a very good league, and I think more and more reggae boys out there, should be finding themselves, attached to some club, especially the young players. Them attach themselves to some club that have that track record of continue to to progress through the club and getting into the conference league. That's where I think they should start, because if you look at it, a lot of the clubs, they need that money. You understand? They need that highlight as well. So it will be good for the market for the young players. You understand? So I mean, people, as I said, it's not a long one, and I'm just doing this for the track record of me not doing that video, to upload 8 o'clock, couple of hours from now. Just come out on live, and just talk a few little stuff. But that's I think, let me see if I did. All right. So after the Nigeria game, the Nigeria coach Shelley, actually was asked by a reporter about the Reggae Boy team, and this is what the Nigerian coach said.
Coach, your next game is actually against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. No, hold. Your next game is against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. Yeah. We saw them yesterday, and they could run. They had energy. They even played more than 90 minutes. And you have also said that it looks like your team ran out of energy towards the second half. You have just 2 days. What's going to happen between now and Saturday?
Well, you will see. You will see on Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The man say you will see on Saturday. But one thing though, we can't get panic. The Nigeria team is a team that, when I look back at some of their games, I was doing that earlier, yesterday, early Thursday evening, and they are quick start off games. They like to start the games really quick, because they like to play on the front foot. They like to dominate the game. They like to have it their own way. And if we manage to give up that possession and give up that early quick start, that early intensive, it's going to be important the leaders on the pitch actually galvanize the team and bring the team together and ride through that tough wave. Ride through that little quick, they will 15, 25 minutes. Just see out the game. 30 minutes in, we can take it over. Just like Ghana didn't manage to get anything in that first half, because the Nigerian team was just all over them. The Nigerian team, they were winning the Heraldors. They were quick of winning the first balls. You understand? They were quick to go a little bit more aggressive 1v1 versus the opponent team, and they were more aggressive in the defensive third of the Ghanaian team. But what happened in the second half? Nigeria. This is my own assessment and my opinion. What I saw, that the Ghana team start to match their peers 1v1. They start to go man to man and be a lot more quicker on the ball. And from there, Nigeria, it seems that they get a little panic. And the first 10 to 15 minutes into that second half, Nigeria was on the back foot. Ghana created a few chances where Asante Thomas, a player with even Jamaican heritage, got that goal. Yeah. And they managed to find their feet in the game. But for some reason, they kind of allow Nigeria back into the game in the next 10 minutes. Then, Ghana, took back over the game. And maybe it's just, it's the long season for the Nigerian players, but they have some very good local players in that team. Trust me. They have some very good local players in that Nigeria team. Even the Ghanaian team, their local players are not bad. They are not bad, so it's going to be I think it's just going to be a tactical game. I think it's going to be, a game of 2 halves, where if we go down or if they go down, it's not going to be the end of the game. You have to come back out and back up that half and actually come out and defend your territory. Yeah. And that's how you're going to win the game. A game of 2 halves. And as much as Huss played so well in that first 45, they got moments early in that second half where I guess it just threw off the mentality of what we trying to do in that second half. And that goal that they scored first and then they score again. That's the best time to score on a team when a goal score. So they did what they need to do, the Trinidad team, and they got back into the game. We can't afford that against a tougher Nigerian team, yeah, which you leading 2-0, and then Nigeria find themselves back 2-2. You don't know if you're going to get back the opportunity to get yourself back into the game, because quality teams, when you let back quality teams into games, that's when you go on to lose games versus your opponent. So it's going to be a physical game, and it's going to test the fitness of the Nigerian team. You understand? Bless up to everybody that's forwarding, to the chat. You understand? Bless up to everybody. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You understand? So bless up to everybody that's forwarding to the chat. Yeah, we're there. That's why we need Ravel to start in this game. Really, I mean, can't argue with it. If he start, he start. It's just that me just think that continuity is good. Going to that game and start about the players. Showed the coach will show them that he trusts them. Go out and do about the same job. And had to what we did versus the Trinidad team, because as much as the reporter said the Nigerian team and the Nigerian coach said he kind of tail off a little bit because of heavy legs from the Nigerian players, because it was such a high intense game, especially what the Ghanaian team did. They just start to mash them more and go more harder 2x time than what the Nigeria team did in the first half. So I guess some dreaded legs in a long season. And if and I said this as well, our players, a lot of them. So look at it: Mason Oldgate, Dexter, Amari Bell, Isaac Hayden, John Russell, Casey Palmer, Haheem Dixon, Burrell. We have 8 players in the team that their season finished more than 2.5 weeks ago. So maybe that is a little bit of fresh legs, why our team looks so quick around, and why when you look at the other game, it seems like they are a little bit jaded. After the first hour of the game, the ending of the game, we finished the game strong. So maybe because of that, and we didn't really have what King, Shaquan Davis as the only, you would say local player, and Ronald Cephas, whose season, ended like probably around week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we have some players that didn't really play much of lot of minutes in the last couple of weeks. While they have players, the Ghanaian team have players that play in France, all over in Europe. Their season just end. You understand? So it's just that I'm just thinking out of the box that maybe our players are more fresher. They went on vacation a little bit more early part. What championship League One finished like March the 5th, the 6th. I think that was the last game before they go into the playoff. You understand? Dix never played much, or did not play a minute in that championship. Player for Charlton. Can't wait for the Jamaica Nigerian final. That's it's going to be a good game. I want the Reggae Boys to win the game. If you ask me, I want the Reggae Boys to win the game because of winning mentality. Just to lift a trophy, just for the boys to know that look, there's something that we just played, and we can look back at it and look at the positive and go into that, bring that momentum from London, back to Kingston, and we just go over there in a British Virgin Island and take care of business, and then come back home and take care of business, and then we'll start the preparation for the World Cup. So I'm enjoying this moment at this time for the Reggae Boys team playing in a tournament. Yeah, a little preseason tournament, because a lot of the times the team have to wait on FIFA dates to get some players. Yeah, while the other rest of the teams in our region already are trained because them have the privilege. Them have so many players in the Americas region, local players in their respective country playing for the national team. We don't have that luxury. We can get these UK players, the players over in scattered in Europe, so but people, really appreciate everybody, that's forwarding on the chat. As I say, this was just a live for just catch up back of, the video that it is supposed to put out, early, today. You understand? Didn't manage to get that recorded done last night, as I don't know. I was, just chit chatting with some of the fellas, on YouTube about some whole heap of stuff. But we will catch up back again, and you know, wish you all the best. I know probably an hour from now, another YouTube engine will turn on another space. We'll go a little bit more far in depth of the game and talk about some things going forward. But as for now, this is it. Norman Campbell will play in a playoff. You understand? Norman Campbell team will play in a playoff, a conference playoff, to qualify for the early qualifying round in the conference league. Up the DJ, team, got promotion to the Turkish Super League, and Andre Gray. And a couple days ago, Nanalo team miss it by the skin of them teeth. The Margaret team actually helped as well. So it's going to be a good look, tomorrow. CFAS, Dixon, John Russell, all these players will perform. Hopefully, they will match their performance of what they did last game, and hopefully we can beat this Nigerian team, because it's a very good team. As much as it's not, the strongest Nigerian team, they will be looking to win this Unity Cup again. But as for now, people, you don't know, I'm here outside. Big up on yourself, people. I'm out, I'm going on the 95. So bless up to the people who commute into work and actually just a wake up, just a rise up, give thanks to the Almighty to let them see the sun again. You understand? Bless up yourself as well, He's God. Yeah, you need to cup. If we score in the first half, Morrison need to come on immediately and the second half to keep the team holding. He's going to be a crucial. And when we call for Ravel, it's not like we're saying Ravel should start every game, but Ravel and CFAS should have a role in the team. CFAS is the one that should be distracting the defensive line for the opponent team, and Ravel is the one that should be killing off the game or start the tempo of the game, whichever team. It depends, on where or whatever part of the tournament the national team is at. Whatever we need for Rafael, he can do it. You understand? He's an all-round player. So best upon yourself, people, I have to run out. So catch you guys again. You understand? On your way out, if you don't like the stream, on your way out, like the stream, comment. You understand? For the ones that watching it back, thanks for watching, man. You don't know, this is Nicardia Media House with the morning insider early out of the blocks. Salute, people. I'm out.